Now, I am really bummed out because I heard through the grapevine what your next health hazard is, and this is something I love doing. And I'm a little upset at you for reminding me that this can be a problem. What is it?
Well, another pubic enemy is the bicycle seat. Biking is a wonderful exercise, and it's great for the cardiovascular system, and it gets that blood pumping, and it gets blood pumping everywhere. And in fact, bike riders who ride at a moderate level report improved sexual function. But
there you go. Ride, baby, ride.
No problems under this hood, sir.
Hey.
I'll check you later.
You're reassuring him.
It never makes the sound when you go to see the mechanic, does it? So anyway, the problem is it can be too much of a good thing. And I said but because the but is the problem. Your butt on a bicycle seat is compressing a nerve and blood vessels right there. They go right under that bone, right on that seat. And that nerve and those blood vessels come out the front and they go to the penis. And sitting on them for too long can start to cause a little bit of damage to the nerve, and it restricts the flow of blood to the penis. In fact, when they did a special kind of penis stress test, where they actually hooked up meters on guys' penises while they were riding bikes, they determined that the blood flow to the penis was dropping 70%.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, and many of us have experienced, guys and girls alike, have experienced numbness down there after a long bike ride. And the problem, too, is that it's not just the numbness, which is the nerve. The flow, when it's decreased like that, the tissues in the penis, which need to be bathed in blood, they're like a little sponge in there. If they're not getting the blood flow they need, they start to harden. And if they harden, they can't expand. That erection gets compromised. And it turns out that in a study of bicycle cops, even though they weren't reporting any problems while they were awake, at night when their erections were measured, they all had a drop-off. So this is an insidious problem that can sneak up on you. Now, if you start to feel it...
You may have to take up swimming, buddy.
Well, no, I will say this. I've never had any problems with this. Incidentally, I did, after all that research came out, I went out and bought a new bike seat, but I did a bike trip across the country before med school. A buddy of mine joined me for a few weeks. After, I believe it was about 10 days, his penis was going numb.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I couldn't believe he didn't just quit right then and there. And yeah, it was a temporary phenomenon, but that's when I realized, before I even went to med school, that this could be an issue. And it's also why when I ride my bike, I'm up always out of the seat, I'm moving around. There's no just sitting on, I mean, that's a small little seat.
I think that if you're gonna bike a lot, and what's a lot, you know, more than 3 hours a week is where you start to notice a drop-off in erections in some studies. Try to get a split seat. It takes some of the pressure away from the middle, but even so, we're all built a little bit differently, and even the split seat won't do the trick for some men. So if you're feeling numb, even on a split seat, get off the saddle so you can get back in the saddle later. But there's also a couple of other tips. You see the nose of this seat?
Yep.
Even with the split, the nose can still pinch off where the penis is coming out from the front against that pelvic bone. So try to get a seat that actually has a downward pointing nose. Also, like Dr. Stork was saying, stand up periodically. And another thing, don't set your handlebars too far down. The more you bend forward, the more that nerve that's coming from the spine gets stretched around those bones. So even the position of the handlebars, which is not obvious, it's not the seat, can make a difference.
I'm glad you said that. It's also worse for your spine, and more of these bikes. Biking is becoming more and more popular, and a lot of these bikes, the handlebars are so low, because everyone wants to get aerodynamic. I got to tell you, the one thing you want to be aerodynamic is your penis. So, be aware, and if you're interested in pre-ordering the penis book by Dr. Spitz, you can log on to thedoctorstv.com for more info. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.